Welcome, one and all, to Smoking Underground. I am Devin.
I'm Gary. How's it going? Good to have y'all today.
I'm hiding over here in the corner like usual.
That is John.
Big John.
Viviani, not Viviani.
Right on.
So, today we are talking about bass boats. I'm just joking. We're not talking about bass boats. We are going to be talking about the Aganorsa Leaf Signature. I always pronounce it wrong. So, there you go. We're going to be talking about that because it is a phenomenal cigar that I tried for the first time. I know, don't shoot the messenger. And I was thoroughly impressed by it. But before that, Gary, how's your week been?
It's been. I'm glad it's almost over. That's all I can say there. I'm glad it's almost over. It was it's 2 weeks. I don't know what it is. I don't know whether I've been. I don't know whether I've done somebody wrong. I don't know whether karma is coming around to bite me. I don't know what it is, but man, it is. For the last couple of weeks, it's been a little bit of pressure here and there, but it's good. It's good pressure. I'm just busy.
Yeah.
And hammered. I mean, I'm flat headed, man, because
You've been
I've
hammered?
been hammered. Yes, in a big way. Yeah, big loads, come along at work and everything. It's just been something. But it's good. It's all good. I love being needed, and that's nice. And I am.
Yeah.
And I like that. But sometimes the load, come on, we got this. So but it's fine. That was good. All's good.
So you meant hammered as in a lot of stuff to work
Yes.
out the other kind of.
Yes. No.
Okay.
No. We won't go there.
We won't go there.
No.
And John, if we can see the chat, that'd be great if you get a minute. So right now I'm doing pretty well. By the way, I've had a pretty decent week besides the NATO that came through.
Sweet.
The Sharknado.
The Sharknado. Oh, yes.
Which was yesterday.
Yeah, man. We hope now. We're talking from Birmingham, Alabama, out here on Highway 280, and we're kind of hoping that everybody, basically, we're hoping everybody come through that because it was nasty, right? It really was
pretty bad.
It started from Texas, and whatever state is between there and here, it went through it, and we got hammered too. So. Yeah. It hit about 4 miles away from us, was darting towards us, and it hit about 4 miles away from us, a little town called Allgood. So the folks, anybody watching in Allgood, God bless you, man. Because you guys got slapped around, and I hate that. So I hope everybody's fine. I really do.
We got a lot of people in the lounge today, so we are back to normal.
Packed.
That storm didn't stop anybody.
Nope.
And a quick shout out. What's up, Jeff? Thank you for being here. Miss Siren, hey.
Oh, that's Jeff Jones. That's a good buddy of mine. That's a good friend of mine. So
you have friends?
I have to pay them all.
Okay.
But I got a few, So but we got some newcomers, so that's great. Good to see y'all.
And John, how was your week?
Yeah.
It's just been a busy, hectic week. Spent a little bit of time fixing last week's error on the show. I apologize. So
what was that error, John?
Which one of us was the error, John?
Just one of those technical things. We'll blame it on the computer.
Okay.
It was probably a PepCAC error? Problem exists between the chair and the keyboard?
Yeah. Yep.
But you will have to dig to find that episode now.
Exactly.
I think that's good, though.
Well, I think we should light these things up.
Oh, you ready?
I am.
Okay,
yes.
Well, why not? Let's go ahead and do this.
This has
right
got
here.
a beautiful gold wrapper to it.
Yeah.
I am thoroughly impressed with this sucker.
All right. Got a great Colorado or a reddish brown type wrapper to it, which is pretty doggone nice.
Yeah.
Signature series Nicaraguan Puro. So it's solid. So it's built well.
Yeah.
Good construction. Triple cap as usual, obviously.
As usual. You can even see the triple cap.
Yeah, you can.
And the smell of it, I'm telling you, man, he just shoved that right up his nose. I'm there usually every Monday, 5:30 to 8. Yeah, stop by. This thing has it's delectable. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, they did some nice work on the label too. Very detailed. It's very artistic as well. SLE Prime, which is one of the best. It's one of the best regions out there. It's what Padron normally does. So it's normally doggone good. So, and I think we've got some Criollo and Corojo 98 on the inside here as well.
Snapple.
So yeah, we got a little hint of. I'm smelling a little hint of. Just a small hint of spice, not a lot.
Yeah.
So it's and I've got a little bit of almost like a graham crackerish type smell to it, which is nice sweetness, almost like a dead honey. I don't even know what dead honey is.
I don't know what dead honey is, but it does have a honey flavor, a living spiritual honey that's good for your soul.
We'll bypass that.
You're morbid. I'm doing a punch myself. Check this out. This is one of my favorite punches.
Nice.
Mr. Harris got it for me.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Pops open when you do that. And I'm using the large ring gauge on it.
Very good.
Because I kind of like the cut, but I like a large punch.
A lot of smoke.
Large punch in the face.
Very good. No, we're going to skip on that. That's the next episode.
You're going to punch me live on stream.
No, not at all. No.
And then, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you have any questions,
very nice.
If you have any comments, let us know. We'd love to hear from you. I'm sure John will have 1,000 ways to answer you with his vast knowledge of cigars.
All right, let's give it a little rotate and a little toasting going on here. Let's see what we have here. Did I ever ask you what? I probably already did. My senility and my age is catching up with me, and I'm sorry for that. But did I ever ask you what cut you prefer? I think you said V cut, didn't you?
I used to prefer V cut. Now I'm particularly fond of this giant
punch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's like the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. Got you. Okay.
And then
very good.
Immediately. I was not expecting this, y'all. I really wasn't expecting. It's not a flavored cigar at all.
As in, you talking about like an acid, like an acid,
yeah,
or like
it's not.
Drew Estate?
And I feel like I am smoking honey.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I was floored.
Yeah.
Because Monday was like the first time I'd ever had it, and I was just like, "Why did John choose this? This is just going to be another cigar that's going to taste good." No, nope.
Aganorsa, I love their basic line. I really enjoy the Aganorsa. Their more common line. I love that. It's very good. And the signature, this is the very first one I've had, and very impressed so far. Not getting a whole lot of spice off the top.
No.
Which is very good. And especially for Nicaraguan tobacco, you're expecting a little bit more pop to it.
Yeah.
Whenever you think of Nicaraguan, whenever I think of Nicaraguan tobacco, I'm thinking like Tatawahe, obviously Padron.
Yeah.
But Padron ages there so long and cultivates there so smoothly. There's not a whole lot to it in a sense of pop or spice. There's just a lot of flavor,
right?
Especially in the 64 series. So that's what I'm normally expecting is somewhat of a Tatawahe type pop to it, some spice to it. I'm not getting a whole lot of it, which is kind of surprising off the top. You normally get a little bit of spice off the top to let that palate season just a little bit, which is nice.
You know? And John, don't pretend like I didn't see how you cut your cigar. I saw that.
That's just horrible preparation.
I saw that.
He bit it in two.
So do we have any comments up there right now?
Or do we?
So the other thing, we were going to do a little bit of pairing. Oh, hey, honey.
But I don't know where that come from him. I don't know where that come from.
Somebody is.
Who is that? I have no idea.
Gary.
I have no idea.
And then,
no idea
Siren, you're learning so much. Honey graham cracker sounds pretty. It does sound good, doesn't it, Siren?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, there's a lot more. I've been trying to explain to some of my gaming groups and stuff the level of detail that cigar smoking has into it. It's not just like some people smoke cigarettes and they got to have it. They got to have it. But cigar smoking, it's just divine. You know, it's got a technique to it. You can actually get certified a tobaccoist, like level 1, 2, and 3. There's higher levels you can get.
There is. Don't ask. And let me.
We're about to lose a sponsor right now.
Let me do this. Don't ask. Don't dare tell Nick Perdomo that. Don't dare tell. I hit Nick Perdomo up that one time, and I said, "Hey Nick," I said, "I'm on the certification trail right here, and I won't. I'm a churchgoer. I'm not going to say what he said,
Okay.
but I'm going to say that
All right.
he just says you need to drop that in a sense of you need to come down to the factory, and you need to. I'll teach you all you need to know."
Well, if he's watching,
And yes.
I'd like to take you up on that offer because I am interested.
Right.
Yeah. You just hit me up. I'm Devin.
Yeah. So
just contact Harris.
Yeah.
You're more than willing to send me out there to learn that. I would love to.
That's it.
I'll use vacation days.
He'll even walk from the airport to the compound. He don't mind. All 6 hours. He don't mind at all. Right in the middle of Nicaragua. He won't tell you that though.
I didn't.
That's okay.
I didn't agree to this.
All right.
I didn't agree to this. Not that part.
Anyway, yeah.
But if that's what it requires, I will do it. It will be horrible, but I will do it.
That's one thing about that is one thing about him that I enjoyed though. It's nice. But as far as this Aganorsa leaf goes, very nice. The signature series in anything normally is a one-off, something that only happens like one time or a special type thing.
Yeah.
And they definitely knocked it out of the park with this one, just on the first light.
Right.
So it's very good. I thoroughly am enjoying it, but I can't wait to get down to about the first third and the first half because it's going to get rich and it's going to get thick, but it just tastes like it's going to stay smooth.
Yeah, I would agree with that. When I tried it on Monday, that's exactly what happened.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow.
And then the only time it's just like typical most cigars. When you get down to about here, you're like, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
And you can taste it. You're done. It's good all the way through. Because I know I've had some cigars, I won't mention, that you get about halfway and you're like, that's it. I'm done.
Right.
Yeah. This one, not even close to that. Not even close. It's good in the beginning. It's good in the end. You know what I'd love to see out of this? What do they call it, Gary? When the tobacco comes up over the front of it, there's a word for that.
Over the front. You're talking about the covered foot?
Yeah.
Unfinished foot.
Yeah.
Those I love those. I'm not sure why, but it's something about it just gives you the flavor of the wrapper right out the gate instead of having to get it a little bit farther down.
And the great thing about that's great you mentioned that, because the great thing about that is that the Perfecto. In the Perfecto model, if you're sort of novice here, what Perfecto model means it's pointed at the end, or it's a special figurado which is pointed at both ends. So what we're looking at here is that what he's talking about is a foot's covered. So in the Perfecto model, what happens is that there's wrapper and binder at the very end. So when there's wrapper and binder at the very end, sort of like a Hemingway series.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when there's wrapper and binder at the very end, you've got that wrapper and the binder that you're only tasting. That's all you're tasting. And then when it goes up to the filler comes in and it makes the flavor dynamic after that. And it really makes it pop. And you really get a complexity out of it. It just starts after that.
Like you're smoking authentic from the country.
But here's the thing about it, though, is that with the majority of Perfecto rollers, you have to know what you're doing. You have to be a master roller or an advanced roller. So therefore, you have to pay more. You have to. That's a little bit more on the edge side.
Rolling.
Well, but with a footer, cap it, let it go. And roll on. So your average roller can literally cap the front, and you'd get somewhere the similar effects of the Perfecto. Yeah, pretty neat.
They do say though that unfinished foot's one of the most difficult feet, I guess you should say, to put on a cigar because of the length. You have to have almost the precise amount of tobacco length because you're not able to trim the cigar to length at the end.
Yeah. Very good.
It is odd as it seems. It's probably the most unfinished. but it's easier to do a shaggy or a typical cigar as opposed to that.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And only in the Parejo model or the straight model, if you will, except for the torpedo.
So
So yeah.
that's a great question. Is what does having a certification do exactly? What would you say that having a certification allows you, besides my own personal reason of I want it because it educates you more in the detailed levels of cigar?
That's about it. That's about all.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to get you. Now, what a lot of folks may argue, of course, is it might get you maybe closer to a rep's job or something like that, which is a lot of the managerial or a lot of the cigar workers' dream.
Yeah.
So and that's kind of cool, but
Okay.
but no, that's about it. Now it will give you education as far as upselling or if you're a manager or if you're full time in the business, it's going to give you more education about multitudes of different levels of different tobaccos.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, a lot of the school does more pipe tobacco than they do cigar.
Yeah.
I noticed that. And in taking the course, and I was like, oh my gosh, man, they're hammering the pipe tobacco.
Yeah.
Man, they are just hammering it. But that's about all.
So what that makes me think of is like when you first start getting into, let's say, art, you're just going to kind of pick your paints, brushes, whatever, and get into it. And at some point, you're going to start studying color theory. And a certification is kind of like color theory. You're going to figure out what goes with what, why it's this way, what it does. It's you really want to know. That's really what it is. It's you do it because you love it.
Yeah.
You want to know for cigar certifications, like, okay, why am I tasting that in the back of my tongue? Well, those kind of certifications will kind of give you a good insight into why you're tasting it.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
I would say.
I agree. Yeah.
And so on to the next thing. What are we pairing it with today?
Oh, okay. All right. I tell you what, I'm going to leave. Go ahead, please, because you've been dying for that.
I've been dying for this thing. I brought this. I'm loving it. So I'm pairing mine with a lighter taste, a kind of a blonde ale, so to speak, because I was thinking about this all since Monday. This one particular blonde has kind of a honey spice taste to it.
Oh.
So I'm like, honey and honey.
So
does it
that
pair?
Means, yeah.
Does it pair? That's the real question.
Yeah.
So this is honestly the first time I've had this cigar with this particular beverage.
Okay, I have to ask this. Okay. And that is, you already smoked that cigar. Okay.
Right.
So was that planned right there, or do you enjoy that and you're going to just say, let's just try it?
I know this flavor really well.
Okay.
From this particular company.
Right.
Very well. And all week I am sitting down thinking, what goes with it? What doesn't go with it? Because I can tell you what doesn't go with it is a Dr. Pepper. I can tell you a Dr. Pepper does not go very well with this cigar.
Nice.
Okay. So I'm trying to think of
David Bruno, if you're watching, this isn't you. He's not talking for you. Okay.
Oh, because Dr. Pepper, as we all well know, has a lot of great flavors to it.
Right.
But honey is not a mixture that goes with that. But I think this will, and I'm going to find out.
Okay.
If it doesn't, you'll know.
Well,
you'll definitely know.
Roll it. Let's see what we got. The verdict's out. Drum roll. Let's see.
Yin and yang. Perfect.
Really? Peanut butter and jelly, huh?
Yep. Peanut butter and jelly. Because this is light with its own flavor profile.
Wow.
And then this has kind of a spicier version of this. So I'd say these two pair very well. You can pair these with some other different brands that have a similar taste.
Right.
I would say in the lighter blondish region of pale ales and stuff like that.
Right.
I'm not sure. It's not hoppy in any capacity. So I don't know if something with hops in it would be very conducive to this, because this is so smooth and sweet.
Okay.
So I don't think that would pair very well with it.
Okay. So, and I'm not, I've tasted the IPAs before, and they are not it, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you guys probably love them, but I guess they got too much of a fruitiness to me.
Yeah.
there's a lot of folks call it fresh,
Yeah.
which I can see that, but it's just not for me.
Yeah, and I'd love to see what this pairs with as far as a harder, like a whiskey or even a Scotch. Like you know how Scotch has that kind of smooth flavor into it.
Yeah,
you gotta like Scotch. You gotta be a Scotch drinker to like Scotch. Sometimes that's what they say, but
That's what I hear.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's I could see some really good Scotches going with this too, because of the lighter, sweeter flavor to it. Yeah,
I could see port going with this. I could see port going with this quite well. Yeah.
I could totally see
It's
that.
got that because
sweet
port's got
lime?
because it's got that nice rich sweetness to it.
You have the sweetness on your lips, on your tongue, and then you just hit that really hard.
And let me tell you what a friend of mine does. It's kind of odd because he takes, and of course this is Steve's own, but he tells me, he says, "Hey man, take this thing, get some cognac." He said, "Take the thing, dip it down in the cognac, man."
You know what's so funny about that? It's almost
Okay.
a bad stereotype with some people, and I completely disagree with them.
Right.
Because some people like to do that, and that's the way they like to enjoy their cigars. I've done it. It's amazing, especially if you use a honey whiskey.
Oh,
I know one in particular.
that is good.
I think it's a mixer, honey called Baron Jaeger, which is so sweet. If you were to pair that with this and do the dip, that's done. I'm probably going to go buy me a bottle of that this week. Because that's
done now.
Yeah. I got a friend of mine, Paula, who just loves to know what the pairings for this kind of stuff is. She takes notes on this stuff and the book and everything. And she would I'm going to have to get her to try this because she'd love it. She'd absolutely love it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds good. So in that instance, in that particular beer there, are we looking more of sort of I hate to be cliche, but are we looking more of a Bud Light type taste to it?
Kind of, yeah. It's on the lighter taste, and it's easy to consume. It's not anything that's going to be like a stout or imperial stout, which is my favorite. I like the dark stuff, but the darker stuff, honestly, just thinking about it, super dark may pair with this as a complete opposite back and forth. Okay. Maybe I'll have to try that.
Yeah,
I am more than willing to make that sacrifice and try that.
I can see doing a dark and then letting the palate sort of tone down just a little bit and then taking a puff of it and letting that mix.
Yeah.
And like you said, I could probably see, of course, I'm not a hard drinker. I'm just not. But I could probably see someone taking a very aged Scotch or an aged a brandy or a whiskey.
Yeah.
A very aged one. I'm talking 12 years and up.
Yeah.
And enjoying that right there. Because this right here is very smooth and there your Scotch has to be as well. So I can sort of see that right there. But that's interesting about that right
So that's kind of the spectrum I point towards in the alcohol realm.
Yeah.
The alcohol realm. And then Gary is going to enlighten us with something we've all discovered being at the cigar store. It just what he's about to open pairs with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's just got a wonderful flavor to it.
So there's a story behind this.
Shoot. Do it.
I didn't know.
Wait, Gary's got a story, John? Wait.
That's never happened.
That's never happened.
Don't.
Never happened.
Shut up. Okay. So what I'm doing here. Okay. So when I first started, a buddy of mine, basically with my first Hemingway, he said, hey, he said, you have to try this. And I'm like, well, okay. It's a cigar. And I'm like, okay. So you drink stuff with it, right? Yeah. And he's like, oh yeah. You have to pair it. And I said, okay. I thought that was just a bird. So what we're looking at here, he says, oh yeah. Try. Yeah, it is. He says, try the, of course, the hidden name, but it rhymes with mocha frappuccino. Okay.
That wasn't much rhyming at all.
So anyway, that's, So he says, try this. So I did, and it went beautifully with it. And of course, I sort of started pairing different stuff up with it, and it went with all regions. It went with everything. It went with the Dominican region. It went with anyway.
Yeah.
I went with everything. So, but what I found out is that the coffee, this is a sweet coffee, obviously, as you majority of people already know.
Yeah.
But what it does, of course, is the sweetness. The sweetness, of course, coats the palate. The coffee cleanses the palate, and then the chocolate enhances the flavor. So as you're tipping it, and all you want to do is just coat it. That's all you want to do is just pop. That's it, right there. And then this thing goes boom, and I'm going, wow.
Yeah.
I taste a new son of a gun.
Yeah.
Hey now.
He has done a lot of thought on this.
Yes,
A lot.
I have. I've been drinking these for I don't know how long. So anyway, yeah. So here we go. Again.
Gary told me that story. It has to be 9 or 10 years ago. And I just kind of laughed and chuckled. And then I did it. And you don't know how many people over the last decade I have sold that product to, and he kept coming back and buying it. And then when we're out of it in the shop,
yes,
they get upset because it just works so well.
Yeah.
And I go back to the reason I started smoking cigars is I was afraid of a DUI. So I started hanging out in the cigar shops to have cigars and, talk with other people and guys. And we'll talk about the advantages of hanging out in a cigar lounge in a future episode.
Nice.
But the last thing I want to do then is to sit down and start having scotch and bourbons and stuff. And this product that he's speaking of in the self-explanatory bottle is it works better than I think anything else in that cabinet we have out there.
Yeah. I mean, when I first, I sort of shook my head and I said, okay, all right. But the Hemingway has that cedar cocoa-iness to it anyway, and man, it just mixed.
Yeah.
So with this mixing quite well. There's something about Nicaraguan tobacco, man, and that stuff right there just goes peanut butter and jelly again. Very, very good. So, yeah. But yeah, this is one of my drinks of choice right here. Of course, I'm not an alcohol guy. But this right here is one of my drinks of choice right here that knocks it out, knocks a lot of it out of the park. Now, what this will do too is that it will also accentuate the bad ones too.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
It will let you know that it is not it. So I said, well, okay.
Now I'm about to relight mine.
Yeah.
Even though it doesn't need to be relit, what you're doing is what I'm going to be doing here is basically pushing any of the tar that's kind of built up.
Oh, you're purging.
Purging.
Good.
Exactly. And
Very
it's going to kind of bring back the flavor.
Very good.
And it's pretty simple. You just kind of light it as normal. And then once it's lit, you blow on it and you're going to see dragon fire breath come right out of it.
Very good.
Out of the cigar.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I haven't got to have a cigar to do that. I just do it with my own breath.
Yeah. So. Oh, we know, Gary.
Yeah. Yeah. Melts the old camera tripod there.
Can you believe we've been going for this long? It feels like we've been talking for like 10 minutes.
I know people are starting to die off now. It's great.
And we're coming up towards the end. This is great.
But yeah. So the technique he used on the purging also is very good. Say, for instance, if you've got a long cigar or you got very little time, whatever it may be, what happens, of course, is as the oil's built up in here. So if you use the technique that he just used, which is a purging technique, gently put it up against it, blow off of it. And then once you get it all done, you can lay the cigar down. You can pick it back up with minimal bitterness. So you literally can smoke your cigar again without harshness or really doing a whole lot of anything like that. So that was a good point. Great shot.
It's
good
one
shot.
of the best things. When I remember, I believe Doc showed me how to do that a long time ago. He showed me how to do it because I've been smoking cigars for super long time and I never knew to do that. And then when I started working at Cigars and More, he showed me that, and it was a game changer for me. It actually kind of it reignited my passion for cigars.
I'm
like
going.
What I did there.
I like that. I like that. So I'll. This is. Don't take this at face value, but my 9th grade science teacher taught me how to do it.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, what happened, of course, is that I walk into a cigar shop and I'm looking around, and this is a long, long, long time ago, and I was far out of the ninth grade. Just clarify that. Anyway, I walk in there, and there he is, and I'm like, Mr. B, is that you? And he says, who are you? And I said, well, at least I made an impression on him.
Right,
Good.
right.
But yeah, he and I, we got to talking, and he, and out of multiple techniques that he was a guru. He was a savant.
Yeah.
He really was. He could literally do the blends, and he could, he was just really good. I learned a ton from him. But yeah, that was my ninth grade science teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway.
Well, we are coming up to the end. That last comment is for you, Gary. You can see that.
Let's plug the cigar one more time, because if people haven't realized in the last 3 episodes, every cigar we've smoked, with the exception of Devin's choice because he broke the rules on the first episode, has been a sub $10 cigar, and this one also is. It's stocked well in all of our locations.
It is, yeah.
You're able to walk in, pick it up. It's to be highlighted at the 280 store again this week. I can't remember the exact price, but I believe it's in the $9.80 range on the Toro size.
Yeah.
It's a $10 cigar.
Yeah.
And like most of the products from Aganorsa, or however that's really pronounced, there's always, I hear it pronounced many different ways on many different shows.
Right.
They're probably priced $2 to $3 a stick too low.
Yeah.
Right.
That's just my humble opinion on it. But be sure to swing by the shop, pick it out. They've got that nice gold sleeve on them, so they're easily identifiable.
Yeah.
And every store is well stocked with them.
It really is. And I highly recommend it. I know we all do. Definitely. Try
Right.
it out. This is definitely one I'd say you need to add this to your next purchase. Hardcore, you need to.
We're also going to tell you that, and this is going to sound hard to believe, but in closing here, we're going to tell you the truth.
Yep.
I'm sorry, but we are.
Yep.
Okay. We may vary some viewers, we may vary some listeners, but we're going to tell you the truth when it comes to cigars.
Yep.
And as it just so happens, this one's good.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah.
Well, there you go. Thank you, everybody, for joining today. And thank you, John.
Big time.
I try.
Yes.
Thank you, Gary.
You do very well, both of y'all. Good. Yeah, big time. So, but yeah, also Devin at Trustful location, Cigars and More. I'm Saturdays over at Vitola Cigars over in a little place called Mountain Brook. Come see us.
Yeah.
Come see us. We'd love to see you. Come see us. Ask questions. Let us know. Come looking for the sticks. Give us some suggestions. Anything. Give us. We need some input. Big time.
And John, you're at the 280, right?
I'm at the 280 store off and on, but guaranteed every Sunday. And I'll talk to you about cigars or podcasting.
Yeah. There you go.
Well,
So in closing, you know what? The smoke is human, but to smoke a cigar, that's divine.
It's outstanding.
Outstanding. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time, next Thursday.
Big smoke to you.
Smoking Underground.
Later.